Right guys, so we are back. Finally, we're getting back into it. Things are going well. The plan now for this next vlog is to basically share with you my process on how I'm building the business. So on one side of it, like I'm doing product stuff, I'm building the product, making it better. That's going to be heavily focused on this vlog. I'm probably spending 70% of my time marketing and then the rest of it developing. At the moment, I'm really heavily focusing on the development stuff, and I want to share with you some of the new things that I'm building. A little bit of an update. I think in the last video, I was explaining that I'm sort of getting quite stressed because I've been traveling a lot and I haven't been able to do the marketing. I tried to automate the business and I tried to see, where things crack and where things break, and a lot of stuff cracked, a lot of stuff broke, and I wasn't able to market it. But yesterday I did a live webinar. I made £1,800 from that live webinar for CodeSpring. I've done a load of updates inside CodeSpring, so you can actually go in and you can sign up. You can actually pay for it inside the app, so you can pay per month or you can pay per yearly. But this was basically just at the end of the webinar, I basically just sent them a payment link. However, what I am trying to work on now is obviously improving the product, right? Because we've got a lot of people coming through. I'm working on some marketing stuff and I'll talk you through the marketing probably later on in this video or tomorrow. This isn't going to be like a day's vlog, this will just be like a what's going on until I end this video. But I need to work on the product. So things have been a little bit slow for the last couple of months while I've just been heavily focused on marketing, because there's no point building if nobody's using it, right? So you guys will know that CodeSpring has this mind mapping feature, so we can actually plan out our app idea. This needs some work, but this creates the basic core functionality. This creates the basic knowledge base. So I've just gone ahead and started to add in this stuff. So these are validation tools, and I'm working on the Reddit research. So basically what we can do is we can select the project that we're working on, right? So you can see here I've got these different app build projects. So for example, if we just come into the AI chatbot builder, right? We can then start the Reddit validation. Okay, at this point, this is going to become a little bit confusing if you're not a developer, but essentially the goal here is I'm trying to build like a very, very complicated system that takes the context of the idea that you're trying to build, the app you're trying to build, and it will search the web, specifically Reddit, and it will see, what are people asking for? Are they asking for different features? Are people even asking for your app at all? Like, how can we determine if our app is even worth building or not? And that's what I'm trying to build at the moment. So I'm going to walk you through the plan. This is a little bit complicated, so I'm just going to skim over it a little bit. But essentially I'm building AI agents, which are going to do various tasks, and the information it's going to give the user is going to dramatically increase and improve the results at the end. So very, very basically, we're essentially taking their idea and we are generating search terms, okay? So we're generating Reddit search terms and also competitor research search terms. And this is only possible in the last month or two. The language models that have just come out are just starting to get these tools. One of the tools is essentially search. It's like Perplexity, so you can do AI search. I'm using ChatGPT's one just for various reasons I'm not going to disclose on this video, just for competitor reasons, but it will do competitor research. Go ahead and take the idea and say, okay, well, these are the competitors that exist. Now what I need to do is actually display this on the front end for the user so they can go ahead and understand it. But this is essentially the design that needs to happen. So I just showed you that purple button. When you click that purple button, it's then going to show us this, which is essentially going to be search results, right? This is going to look like two mini Google searches, where the user can go ahead and update or change the search terms. And this is kind of a little bit less important right now. You won't really understand this unless you're using the app, but this will make sense as we start to build. So I need to build this so the user can update the search terms. They'll then click this and it will go ahead and it will find all of the source data on Reddit to then, we can use that later on for the validation stuff. So I've got to build all of that stuff now. We're starting to actually get some really cool stuff. I'm just going to do some developing for a bit. I'm not going to film the developing stuff because it's quite boring for you guys. And then I'll probably talk to you about, whatever else comes up as I get started and as the UI starts to come together. So I'll do an update when I get back, but just now I have done a complete database shift up to make things a little bit easier, and had a call with a guy called Jordan who is going to help me with some of the content stuff. I'll do a bit of an update on that as well when I get back. Plan is now going to go to the beach. Essentially he is going to try and create a whole load of organic content for Instagram and TikTok for CodeSpring. That will then hopefully then bring in some views. It means I don't need to worry so much about it, and then we'll do a performance pay. If it goes well, we will basically just have a tracking link in there. I'll show you some of the stuff for the marketing later, but I can track if it's making sales, if it's not, and then obviously he can be on performance pay. So very highly motivated to get views, low risk for me, low risk for him. So we'll give that a week or a couple of weeks test, but that will basically mean we could be putting out organic content, building an audience across those brands without having to focus so much on the personal brand to scale this. And then we'll basically do the same ad post that I do on my account, but on those accounts as well, which should theoretically convert roughly the same, but we'll see. So literally just packing a couple of t-shirts. I've got my laptop, just need to bring the camera. This means I can then set up, a shot shot and I can just get changed into a couple of t-shirts, and then I can have like the same shot but I can use it 3 times, for example, because I've got 3 different shirts. It just helps with B-roll, especially for Instagram and especially for YouTube. So I'm going to just probably try and get like 6 different angles, and from 3 different shirts, that should be giving me about 18 different shots that I can use across Instagram and TikTok. And then also I can use it in the CodeSpring Instagram account, and also I can get shots that I can put onto this YouTube video to make it a bit more interesting. So yeah, we'll give that a go. Some of it's going to be me coding, some of it's going to be me chilling out, don't know. Okay, so it is now the next day, and I've had a little bit of time to think about how this is going to go together, how I'm going to make the app better, and some of the marketing stuff. So I'm going to walk you through it. This is just going to be quite boring. We'll probably put some B-roll on this to make it a bit more interesting, but it's quite difficult to get the algorithm working for the market research stuff with Reddit. I am getting very, very close, but in terms of like architecture and thinking about how the whole thing goes together, it's incredibly complicated, and it's involving me building, essentially, I'm calling them micro agents, but at the moment we've got about 4 or 5 of them currently running. I say we, it's me, I'm building it on my own, to try and tailor the market research to the idea. This is like, it's taken me 4 different attempts at building this app to get to this point, but we are very, very close. Once it's done, it's going to be absolutely insane. Personalized market research for your app idea. In the future, we'll probably bring in stuff like just validate any idea. I'm really excited to get this done, but I'm also focusing on scaling up the marketing. So obviously a lot of the marketing that I'm doing is through this personal brand, and I can't really be having that. I need to scale it. I need to be getting about 500 leads per week minimum. At the moment, I'm pushing 200 if I really put in effort, 300 if I put in a bit more effort. No effort, I'm getting about 100, 150 leads, and that's not enough in terms of scaling this quick enough. So what I've done is I've hired Jordan. I'm sure we'll get some videos of Jordan, some of his results in the video later on as we move through this week. He is basically going to, for $250 for the first 2 weeks, just basically shit post about AI, coding and all that stuff, which is hopefully just going to get some views and bring in some leads. Also, I'll show you this as well. Now I have actually got an idea for scaling up the marketing as well, which is going to involve hiring like a lot of creators. I did a post on my Instagram a couple of days ago where I basically said to people, I was like, look, do you want to basically shit post about AI? And depending if this is live or not, when I post this video, the link to apply for this will be down below the video. But I'm basically paying like $20 for 10 videos. So really, really low cost on my end because it takes 20, 30 seconds to film a video. But essentially hiring shit posters to post like crappy videos about AI coding, just because that's going to bring in the niche of people who are interested in AI coding. And then from there, hopefully we can pull leads in. But the challenge for that is I need to build a course which is going to train people up. They're going to create accounts, all of that stuff. So I'll probably do that this week or next week, and Jordan will become like the manager of that. That's another idea that I need to test. But yeah, at the moment the team is growing slowly. It's me doing everything. Arjun is doing all of the editing. He's doing a great job. We're getting some videos out. We're starting to get into a bit of a routine. The biggest bottleneck there is just me filming the content and getting that over to him. And then we've got Jordan as a 2-week test who's going to be creating content to help me, while I am now able to spend more time actually building. And at the moment, as I'm filming this, I can use Claude 4 Opus Max. I don't know if you guys can see that on the Pro plan in Cursor. If we actually come into here, and it's literally costing me nothing. Like I can just use it for free inside the Pro plan. So all of these Claude 4 Opus isn't charging me anything. It means I can get like the world's best LLM coding for me at the moment without any additional cost, which is really cool.
Y tan dulce como un mango, una chica de Bahía con milagros, cantita bien caro. La ballena, brasilera canta a capela, dime en portugués todo lo que quieras, yo te llego en cualquier manera. Semi-automatic, shoot my shot in verse until I had it. Fuck the drama, she was cinematic. Speak to me in tongues like a fanatic.
Okay guys, you're not actually going to believe where I am vibe coding from today. That's right, I'm sitting by the beach and I'm building CodeSpring. The goal is to scale it to £250,000 in annual recurring revenue. And today, we're going to be vibe coding in this cave. Let me show you the setup. I'll prop you guys here, and that's where I'm coding from. Now, I will say, I agree, this looks absolutely ridiculous. I have the code here, this is the view. And actually it's quite good because it's cold, like it's sheltered, and I can sit here and code. No, I'm actually joking. I'm here and I'm filming B-roll for basically ad creatives and content, so I can basically essentially just make eye-catching content that I can put all over Instagram to try and promote CodeSpring. But what I do want to do while I am sitting here in this cage is give you a bit of an update on the results. So CodeSpring has done £54,000 so far this year. That downwards trend I'll explain in a minute. if we look at annual recurring revenue, it's had a massive uptick in just the last couple of days. And yeah, things are doing pretty well. You can have a look and see all the payments that are coming in. Like all of these are basically new payments from customers. All of that is Stripe subscriptions. Now the reason the annual recurring revenue kind of went down and now it's going back up again is very much because I've been traveling for the last few weeks. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm vibe coding in a cave. But let me know what you guys think of this setup. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish getting some B-roll today, and then from there we will go on. But anyway, the plan is finish getting some B-roll, and then I want to have enough that I can create content for like the next 3 to 5 days. Obviously, I'm going to reuse a lot of this content. I want to just get a library of like 500 videos in the end that I can just switch back to and continue using. So that's obviously vibe coding showing the results, and then obviously the stuff like by the beach, and then obviously in the hammock, and that's kind of like what this goal is, sitting here. So just getting outrageous content and then using that to hopefully get views, and that's doing quite well. We've got like 800 views, 200 views, 700 views. That's doing pretty well at the moment. Okay, so I got, well, there we go, got some content inside of the cave, got some content of me just sitting on the beach, just randomly filming, doing various bits and bobs. I think now I am just going to enjoy the evening, probably go for a swim. As I said, packed all of my stuff already so I can go for a swim. Today has been a pretty productive day. I did want to get an ad filmed, get it posted onto Instagram, but obviously ran out of time. But this stuff is probably more useful anyway in the long term. But as long as I've got enough bits and pieces to be getting on with, I kind of think that's probably okay. So go for a swim, and that's probably it for today. I don't know if I'm going to wrap the vlog up here. If I do, then obviously don't forget to subscribe, follow on to the rest of them.